Take us back to the beginning. How did you discover your passion for acting and storytelling?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, it goes back a ways. I've told this story before, but I remember watching Days of Thunder. Do you know the Tom Cruise
Yeah.
NASCAR movie? And it's like Tony Scott made some good movies back in the day, and it was like really exciting. And as a kid, I remember jumping up at the end of the movie when him and Robert Duvall are like racing right at the end in the freeze frame. And I was like, yeah, I want to be an actor. And then my mom was just like, no. She shut it down almost immediately. And so, I mean, I just kept the artistic side of me in the back of my head for like my entire childhood. I was in show choir when I was in high school, and that kind of gave me the performance bug. And then when I went to college, I kind of just put it all to the side. And when I started doing the engineering job as an adult, I found that I needed something more artistic. That was like something that was missing in my life. So I started taking theater at the Studio Theater in DC, Shakespeare Theater, started taking classes. And that's where the bug started to creep in.
What was that moment where you knew you wanted to pivot from engineering into acting? How challenging was that decision?
Well, it wasn't a real pivot. It was like gradual. Um, I was doing the 9 to 5 and then going to do
Mm.
theater at night. So it was just this exhausting transition of just like, and I was like, but I had to because you have to fulfill that side of you, the creative passions that you have. But then my father got sick around 2008, 2000 and yeah 2008, and he passed away in 2011. And kind of not really on his deathbed, but kind of in hospice, he pulled me aside and was like, I know what you want to do with your life, and I don't want you to resent me or the family. So he kind of gave me his blessing. That was like a huge weight off my shoulders. And a year later, I moved to LA and just said, screw it, let's do it.
It's a great story. So sorry for your loss.
No,
Um,
thank
when you look at your career as a whole, who or what has had the biggest influence, either personally or professionally?
um wow. I look at a lot of, because when I was pursuing it, I think when I moved out here, my first thought was, I will be happy getting like side character roles here and there, because that's what I thought that the ceiling was. And then I looked up to actors like James Hong, like um John Briones, guys who just worked their way to having a illustrious career. And it's guys like that who are in the trenches and weren't huge stars out of the gate, and were of an ethnic background. That they
Yeah.
really inspired me.
Yeah, speaking of making your way, you're one of the stars of Kung Fu season two. What should audiences know about Sebastian?
But at the end of season 1 of Kung Fu, they're kind of, the restaurant, I mean, is in dire straits. They're about to go bankrupt, and Meili and Jin are like, you know what? We're gonna do what we want to do. We're gonna go out swinging. And when they do that, they make that change at the beginning of season 2. You find them flourishing, and they're just so overwhelmed that they need help. Hire this hotshot worldly chef just on the spot, and from there you see, he's charming on the surface. He's got everything collected, and you think, hey, this is too good to be true. Is it?
Mm.
I mean, we'll see. That I think what you should know about Sebastian is that he's grounded. He's got skeletons in his closet, whether it's personal or whether it has to do with the overarching story. That's something that you get to see as it unfolds.
Yeah, did you feel any pressure heading into this series, just given the fact that this franchise has done so well and you're also joining a cast now that has a season under their belt?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always overwhelming and kind of intimidating to join a cast mid. They're firing on all cylinders, and you're just like, okay, here comes the new people. And Olivia, Eddie, JP, Kang, all the entire cast, everyone involved, welcoming to the guest stars, and it was almost immediate to where I felt like I was a family.
And one of the reasons why I think this show has resonated with audiences is because it brings this authenticity that we haven't seen depicted in mainstream media. And it's a testament to the cast, the crew, the writers, the creators. What's something that you brought to Sebastian that wasn't originally on the page that made him feel more authentic to you?
And I talked to Bob and Christina about this, and I think what comes off the page when everyone first read for Sebastian was, he seems like he's super cocky and he's super over the top, just like into himself. And I think I brought kind of a, like, deep down, there's something to this guy that is innately good, or something about him that is genuine. And whether that's him putting it on or whether that's him himself, I think it's just something that I was able to bring.
And you've also said in past interviews that this has been a dream come true for you to get to play a fully fleshed character. Why do you think it's taken the industry so long to get here? And during those more challenging times, how were you able to persevere?
I mean, through the tough times, you kind of just have to surround yourself with good people. You have to focus on things that aren't in the business. And you have to, stay creative in ways that elicit joy in you. So it's hard. And I think it's taken the industry a little while because, one, we're within even the last few years, we're just getting there to where diversity is reaching a point, where we're heading towards parity. But even so, for Southeast Asian actors, it was even harder to get outside of characters that were in a like one-dimensional box. And I am super grateful for them seeing more of me when I auditioned for it. So it's really been a blessing, and I'm super lucky. And I'm trying to enjoy every moment of it.
Yeah, speaking about enjoying the moment, the first episode aired this week, and you've gotten to see the fan response and what your character has meant to them. What has that experience been like for you? I know you've shared a couple posts on Instagram.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and to see people positively accept this character, it's still kind of new to me to see that kind of response. So I'm just taking it in, and I'm enjoying everyone's theories and responses and thirst, whatnot.
Yeah, and we know you can't say too much, but what are you most excited for fans to discover about Sebastian, and which of his relationships has been your favorite to explore in season 2, and why?
The obvious answer there is JP. We get along really well, and he's a great scene partner. But the friendship that I've developed with Kang, Mei Lee's character, has been. There's some really cute things that happen between us during the season that I won't spoil. But one of my favorite scenes is in episode 5, and it's kind of like a Western showdown kind of scene. So I'm excited for everyone to see that.